Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So it seems to be business as usual over at the DOJ and the ATF. It doesn't really seem to matter who's in charge. It could be Patel and Bondi, it could be Dettelbach and Garland. Either way, these agencies seem to operate the same by infringing on people's Second Amendment rights and continuing to defy court orders. So today we're going to be talking about NAGR v. Bondi and how the ATF is currently and actively defying a court order to return people's seized property. Let's go ahead and get to it. Now, real quick, if you guys are watching this video and you have not yet subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free, it only takes a second, but it really does help us out here quite a bit. It helps us spread our message, and it lets the powers that be know that you guys want to see content like this, which kind of helps us stick around here for a little bit longer. So a big thank you to everybody who subscribes. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here with the NAGR v. Bondi. Now, this was originally NAGR v. Garland, but obviously Bondi's the Attorney General now, so she's going to have her name at the top of these lawsuits moving forward. Now, this all has to do with FRTs. If you guys remember, it was back in, I believe, July of 24 that the NAGR won a lawsuit on behalf of its members against the ATF and their confiscation of FRTs and wide open triggers, forcing the ATF to give them back to the people who they were confiscated from. And the ATF had until February 22nd to do so. Well, February 22nd is clearly come and gone. It's almost been a month now, and the ATF is still holding on to people's seized property, which goes directly against the court order. Now, you would think that this wouldn't happen under Patel and under Bondi, right, who said that they're going to restore the Second Amendment rights of people and that they were going to make some big changes within these departments to make sure that the attacks on people's Second Amendment rights would stop. As a matter of fact, even just a couple weeks ago, Bondi said this.
But we also, yesterday, I fired the general counsel from ATF. You know, these people were targeting gun owners. Not going to happen under this administration.
So even though the president signed an executive order protecting the Second Amendment, and Bondi said that she fired the chief legal counsel over at the ATF, and we have Patel as the interim ATF chief, we're still seeing some big problems here, because what happened after February 22nd is that the NAGR filed a letter of non-compliance, basically telling the court, hey, look, the ATF is failing to comply with the court's order here, and we want this to be corrected, right? Well, the ATF decided that they were going to respond, and in their response was some of the most outrageous comments that I have seen in a long time. And this just has to do with returning people's seized property. So, I mean, just take a look here at what the ATF actually says they want from people in order to give them their own stuff back. So this is what the DOJ filed in response to the plaintiff's notice of non-compliance. And when we talk about the defendants are going to be the ATF and the DOJ, and the plaintiffs are going to be the NAGR and its members. So it says here, defendants respectfully submit this response to plaintiff's notice of non-compliance to address plaintiff's assertions that defendants have violated this court's July 24, 2024 final judgment as modified by this court's August 20th, 2024 order as detailed below. None of the plaintiff's assertions have merit. Now, obviously, the idea that they don't have merit is ridiculous. The court set a February 22nd deadline that they failed to meet, so they are in non-compliance as of right now. But the part that's really bothering people, and the part that really kind of calls into question whether or not Bondi and Patel are really in charge of the DOJ over there or even really care, is going to be this part right here, where it says defendants, being the DOJ, have been transparent with the court and plaintiffs regarding serious administrability difficulties, including difficulties determining which owners are members of the plaintiffs' organizations and entitled to the return of their devices and resource constraints. So basically what they're saying is they want the NAGR to give up who their members are and their information. And if you don't believe that, it says just down below, plaintiffs could have accelerated that process by conveying to defendants information about the members that they claim to represent who seek return of a device pursuant to the injunction. So again, they want the information on members to be given to them from the NAGR instead of just simply returning them to the people that they took them from. Now, this is the part that really pisses me off, because this is the part where the DOJ basically says that we want to run background checks on the people who were supposed to be returning this seized property to. Even though they didn't have to get a background checks to get it in the first place, they still want to run background checks, and they say it's because of the court order that they're doing so. But it says here, plaintiffs disagree with the need and possibly even the legality of running background checks prior to the return of seized FRTs and WOTs to eligible individuals. Now, I don't know what's going on over there. There's supposed to be new leadership, and things like this are not supposed to happen. Obviously, the president came out with his executive order that said, hey, look, we need these infringements to stop. This should be one of those infringements that you're trying to stop, but it hasn't. So I don't know if maybe just the leadership is not aware that these types of things are happening. Maybe even though the chief counsel, after they were fired, maybe it was somebody that was below them that's responsible for this, and it just hasn't gotten to the right people, and so maybe Patel doesn't know about it. I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt for now, but this is an absolute infringement on people's constitutional rights, and it just shows you right there that they don't care about court orders. They don't care about any of that stuff. Basically, what they care about is still the same old agenda that they have had prior to the new administration. It is the same old DOJ. It is the same old ATF. And until there is a top-down change, until we actually see some real change move down, we're not going to see anything different happen. Because again, they are openly defying a court order, and they are failing to return people's seized property to them. People shouldn't have to do a background check for something that they legally obtained before you took it away from them. They shouldn't have to go through that process. And you shouldn't have an agency, or not an agency, but an organization like the NAGR have to give up names and information in order for you to give things back either. This is absolutely absurd, and it needs to stop. So if the people who are in charge over there, right, if Bondi and Patel and obviously the president are serious about the things that they've said on camera, then they need to make that change immediately, and this needs to absolutely stop. So I just wanted to bring some more attention to it. I know that some other people are covering it as well, and the more people, the merrier. This is something that a lot of people need to talk about, more people need to talk about, and you guys need to spread the word on this so that we actually do get some change, the change that we were hoping and expecting from these three-letter agencies. So again, I wanted to share that with you. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.